Welcome back. This is The Guys Next Door. I am your host, Ron Arenas. And Pastor John is taking a well-deserved week off, so I'm here all by myself hosting The Guys Next Door, brought to you by Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. Today we have with us one of my really good friends, Robert from Compression Printing.
Hey, Ron. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Yes, this is very exciting for me.
You look excited.
Yes. I've never done one of these, so this is the first time, and there's always a first time for something, and
Yeah.
this is exciting.
Tell us a little bit about compression printing.
So compression printing, it started probably around 14 years ago as an idea. We were driving down a road, and we rolled down the windows, and you just felt the compression of the vehicle. I'm always like, you should probably name your company Compression Printing. And so that's how we got the name.
Really?
It was driving down a highway, lowered all the four windows, and there was shaking going on. You just feel the compression. I think that's kind of funny, but, and
I never knew that about you. I've known you all these years. I've never known that about you.
It's a weird story to talk about, but that's the idea of compression printing.
Okay.
And also we thought about, like, we're going to compress everything. We're going to do shirts, invoices, postcards. So we compress everything in one-stop shop. You know what I mean? So that was part of the concept. And then we came up with the LLC, and then we started, thinking we were just going to do business cards and flyers and some letterheads. And we've expanded into doing so many different items as far as printing, retractable banners. We do regular banners, embroidery, screen printing, heat transfers. I mean, you name it, So that's what it's expanded to this point.
Right. Yeah, you've done my stuff for many, many years. Hats, shirts. Back when we had paper invoices, you did thousands and thousands and thousands of paper invoices for us.
We would number them all, 3-part NCRs. And, the industry's gone away from that a little bit. I mean, some people still do it. Everything's done electronically. You know what I mean?
We're
you
all digital now.
Digital invoices. And, that is totally fine, but some people still want that written contract. They want the written piece of paper that they can take a look at, physically, and base their opinion on that and what decision they're going to make. So it's been great.
Yeah. So who's your ideal client?
My ideal client is basically somebody that's wants to start new. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And they want to, like, hey, I want to brand myself, and what's the best way to brand myself in? And then we start with logos, and we start with business cards, and we want to help you grow and say, hey, compression printing was there for us at the very beginning. Now we're a big outfit, and we'd like to pass it on to somebody else and say, hey, go with them, because people say, oh, we don't want to do 50 business cards. Well, compression printing will.
Okay. So you'll do small orders also.
We do tiny orders for the small client that just got started. And as they grow, just like you, I remember, we did small orders. All of a sudden they're doing, just like you, they're doing 100 shirts orders at a time, doing 1,000 pocket folders. Some people are like, I can only do 50 pocket folders. I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we keep it within the budget, So, but I do take on big clients, and it's that's how I stay above water.
Right. That's how you pay your bills.
In a big competitive, area. So.
Right. So what's your experience with printing? I know that you had a bunch of years where you're an actual printer, right? Yeah.
So I basically I was looking for a job one day, and then one of my friends says, hey, we were looking for. Basically a hand worker, or it's called a helper feeder. You run a large printing press, and you basically help the pressman who runs the big operation, the big machine, and you basically make sure that there's ink in the machine and all the chemicals are filled up and the paper's running and everything's good. And then you become an apprentice and you learn how to be a pressman. While you do all that, lots of time in there involved, and you start running a 1-color press, which you do black and spot colors, and then you go to a 2-color, and then you go to a 4-color, which is CMYK, which is the primary colors to create all colors, other than metallics. And then I learned how to run a big printing press, and then I became a supervisor somewhere. I don't want to mention the name, but and I got great experience. And you become worth more. The more you learn about something, the more you become valuable.
Of course,
and
you become an expert.
Yes, and then you start to realize, like, I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of businesses. And my wife says, you can sell ice to anybody. So basically, we started, and it's grown that way. And I get new clients every week.
Oh, fantastic.
And it's great.
Yeah.
Great. And
Well, you talked about connections, and growing up here, I mean, just like myself, you have a lot of connections out there, and you know a lot of people, and you're able to talk to them.
yes, it's very important, connecting with people. Everybody always needs something to do with printing, whether it could be a flyer, it could be, I'm part of a soccer team or a baseball team. And, you offer your services, and that's how it starts. You may hear from a guy one time a year, but you can rely on him one time a year to do stuff with you, and
Sure.
there's other clients that do six things in a month, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so basically knowing people is important. My brother Danny went to Tucson High.
Right.
I went to South Point. So guess what? There's 2 high schools between us. That's a lot of people. You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
And in being in sports, you're able to connect with other people in schools. And, there you go. You're meeting people.
Yep. And then we met in church, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. How does faith come into your business?
I believe that faith basically is the main driver. You rely on the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and you rely on Him on everything, for everything.
Right.
The struggles and the challenges, but then also the great conquers that you do in life when struggles come abroad.
Right.
There isn't a day that I don't thank the Lord for everything He's done as far as growing my business and where I'm at with my relationship with my wife,
Right.
with my son, my in-laws, my mother, my father. So faith is everything. Faith is something that you cannot see or touch. It's a feeling.
Yeah.
It's a knowledge of knowing, and it strengthens you. It's like a rock that you can't touch or feel. But yes, very, very important in my life.
Yeah. I know we've had many, many conversations about it over lunch and coffee and everything else. But yeah, man, owning your own business, you have to have faith. You really do.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? It's 'cause you're taking a chance.
Yeah.
Like some
Well,
people.
you're putting everything out there. You're putting your whole livelihood out there.
Yes, you are. And one of the things is that you're relying that it's going to grow. You're relying that you're going to make the right connections. You're relying that there's going to be some mistakes.
Sure.
And you're hoping that it's not the mistake that's going to take you under.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been great. And I tell you what, there's nothing better than knowing that when you wake up in the morning, that it's one thing saying working for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also one saying working for your clients to
Yeah.
make sure you give them the product that they're looking for.
Right.
And that's
right.
important. Like on your trucks, it says integrity.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah. You're a service provider just like we are.
Yes.
So you're helping everyone else. You're helping people achieve their dreams also.
Yeah. And one of the cool things about what I do as a business owner, and as small as I am or as big as I am, I deliver all my local products to all my clients.
Okay.
So they get a chance to see me, and maybe there's an up and coming project that I can discuss with them instead of being like, hey, you send me an email or something. And I get it. The email's big, but
Sure.
there's also that personal touch I like to give to my clients as far as like, hey, I'm here. If you need something else, let me know.
Yeah. And when you're delivering something, you can show them what, you just brought them, that product.
Absolutely.
They can look it over, and I mean, even though you sent them a proof, they can look at the actual product in their hands,
Yes.
make
and-
sure that everything is exactly the way they wanted
Exactly. It's like you order something at the drive-through. Sometimes it's not gonna come out, but it says that on the receipt. This
Yeah.
is the way it's supposed to be, but it's not. But that's neither here nor there. But yes, it's very important that I drop off something that they want. And compression printing is very, very strict on making sure that we deliver what you ask for. And we will correct it if it's not.
it. Okay. Very good.
So that's very important. Just kind of like what Picture Box Heating and Cooling does. Fix it right the first time. If it's not, we'll make sure it's right.
Right.
That's why I keep using you guys.
Well, thank you.
Well, not only that, I also care about and love you very
Yeah.
much.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So how do people get a hold of you?
Well, I have a website, compressionprinting.com.
Okay.
I'll repeat it again, compressionprinting.com. Basically, the website's there to kind of like show you what we offer.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of monitor it sometimes, but I directly would like people to call me
Okay.
and say, hey, I'm going to send you an email, and you can send that at robert@compressionprinting.com. You can send emails. And then I like to talk to people and see exactly what they're looking for. I mean,
Okay.
if it's basic, straight stuff, then we'll just put the order in. But I'd like to see what type of materials you want, what kind of finishes. Are we doing a suede business card? Are we doing a gloss business card? So, I want to know what you're looking for.
Okay.
And this way, we do it right the first time, and there won't be any complaints.
That's right. That's right. You always send a proof.
Yes, always, always,
Yeah.
always.
So real quick, how do they get a hold of you again?
Okay, you can reach out to me at robert@compressionprinting.com or 520-331-8564.
All right. Thank you for being on, Robert.
Hey, Ron, thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Tucson Pack and Ship, Tucson Tamale, Piper Family Painting, Steamy Concepts, Crest Insurance, Picturox Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, and Duran Coaching. We'll be back. All right. Welcome back to the Guys Next Door. I'm your host, Ron Arenas. And next up, we have Matt from Steamy Concepts.
Hey, what's going on, Ron? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. From Facebook, it looks like you've been traveling a lot.
Oh yeah, we just got back from Florida. My daughter has a friend that goes to college at UT.
Oh, okay.
And so she wanted to go see her, and she's still
Nice.
a little young, so we wanted to go with her.
Sure,
So
sure.
called it a vacation.
Was there any devastation or anything there?
You know, where we were at was in Tampa, and while they said Tampa was like going to be the dead center hit,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't.
Oh, okay, good.
So it did get hit, but it was extremely minor. I think Clearwater is where most of the damage took place,
Okay.
and we didn't see that part.
Okay. Well, good.
But where we were at, things seemed pretty normal, and it was
Yeah?
beautiful, beautiful weather.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, tell us a little bit about Steamy Concepts.
Well, we started in 1998 as just a little carpet cleaner, and the true story and the joke is that it was just me and an old broke down van and my wife, and that's really the truth. So we just took it from there and grew it one van at a time, one employee at a time, one job at a time, and kind of grew it to what it is today. And now we've got over 100 employees and just under 100 vehicles on the road between Tucson and Phoenix, and
Wow.
we're doing carpet cleaning, water damage restoration, mold remediation, and even repair work for our sister company, Royalty Renovation.
Fantastic. So if someone has some water damage, you not only take care of the water damage, but you can rebuild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of selective about it though, because sometimes people want to do major changes to what they had before, and that really can fall out of the scope of repairing back to a pre-loss condition, which is what the insurance companies pay for.
Oh, okay.
So we can get a little bit out of pocket, and we try
Yeah.
not to get in the middle of those.
Yeah, I guess that could be pretty sticky.
Yeah, I can. So,
Go ahead.
I don't know if you saw the news the other night, but
I didn't.
Yeah,
No.
so we were interviewed by Channel 13 for mold issues. There was a tenant situation. Yeah, tenant landlord situation, and one of the news anchors Rebecca Taylor wanted to interview us to kind of see like.
She interviewed me last year.
There you go.
Yeah, during the summer with the heat. Yeah.
Yeah, she was really nice, and I was a little. Being on the news can be a little bit nerve-wracking because you don't really know what they're going to talk about,
Yeah.
what they're going to ask. But all they really wanted to know is how you deal with certain situations. Just really like shower mold or countertop mold, how you deal with that versus how you know when you have a real water damage and mold situation.
Yeah. Well, that's really a bad word out there is mold. No one wants to say that.
And then they call it black mold, which is really scary because that's like the death mold.
Yeah.
So, all mold's bad.
Yeah. Old mold is bad. So tell us a little bit about mold. So tell us a little bit about surface mold versus, say you have a continuing leak in the wall that you didn't know about.
Well, if you have something going on in your house that's continuing, that can sometimes be referred to as long-term damage, which is kind of a bad word in the insurance industry. Long-term damage will usually get denied. So you always want to take care of it before it becomes long-term damage.
Sure.
If you want to have your insurance company pay for it. And even if you don't, long-term damage is going to just be more expensive. It's
Yeah.
going to create rot and things like that. Typically, if you have water damage going on, you're going to start seeing issues with your drywall and your baseboards and paint discoloring. But if you have it in an area that you really don't notice, like a shower, because you're going to get a lot of water in a shower,
Right.
that's when you want to kind of pay a little bit more attention, because sometimes you'll start getting mildew growing along the corners of the bottom or going up, going up high. And that sometimes can just be from not cleaning it enough.
Okay.
It needs to be clean.
So that's that surface mold or
That's
surface
surface mold.
mildew. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's usually cleanable. But if you clean it and then it comes right back, and you clean it, it comes right back, probably have a bigger problem that's
Okay.
rooted in behind the grout or behind the tile the shower surround. So that's when you want to take care of it. So if you know, like, hey, I had mold, I cleaned it, it came back again, I cleaned it, it came back again, or I'm smelling mold, mildew,
Ooh.
that's when you want to be a little bit more concerned.
Yeah. So that's when they call steamy.
That's when they call steamy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think call us anytime, but we don't want to go out there and just be like, well, just use some cleaning product and wipe it off and it's fine.
Yeah. And you said you do carpet cleaning also?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much where you started.
Started cleaning carpet. We do a lot of carpet cleaning, although I'll be honest, back in 98, it was all carpet cleaning and nobody had tile.
Okay.
And if they did have tile, it was Saltillo tile, which a lot of us from Arizona are familiar with. And
Yeah.
it's a nightmare. It's very, very difficult to maintain and very expensive to maintain and a lot of work to restore. But fast forward, 15 years and a lot more people started using tile in
Right.
areas that had high traffic for carpet because of the heavy traffic areas that
Yeah.
would start discoloring and looking bad. So we realized that carpet was kind of not dying, but minimizing. And we started doing tile and grout cleaning, and all my friends in the industry were like, "Oh, you're crazy! Why are you cleaning tile and grout?" Well, now I'm glad we clean it because
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, we do a good job and it's profitable, so it makes sense
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, and there's definitely a need.
And now they've switched again to LVP flooring. They went from laminate flooring to LVP flooring, which is like the vinyl plank flooring.
Okay, yeah, the snap in together flooring kind of.
Yeah, and we don't really touch that too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more of a no maintenance type of like you don't really need to.
Yeah, there's no grout lines or anything.
No, and if you clean it too heavy, you can get water underneath it. So
Yeah.
and that can be bad even if it's vinyl.
Right.
So
We had a rental house a few years ago that we were rehabbing to sell it, and I don't know if the grout had ever been cleaned in there, and so we had it cleaned, and it was amazing the difference.
yeah, sometimes you don't realize it because it's gradually getting discolored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was almost like a black grout when it wasn't cleaned, and then it was like an off-white or
Yeah.
really light gray when it actually was cleaned.
Usually we'll just tell people, look, go look in the corners and the edges that you never walk on.
Yeah,
That's what it should look like all the way across. And then they understand.
yeah.
So,
you're also involved in nonprofits.
yeah, we're very selective. So there's two things we do. We do, if we're going to donate and support, we usually try to do something that works with children.
Right.
So we like youth sports a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so we do a lot of youth sports sponsorships and things like that around the city. But then around the holiday time is when we kind of kick in something different, and we had to be really selective as to what we thought was good. So we chose Toys for Tots almost 10 years ago, and started just doing little collections, and it just kind of morphed into something really big. And before I knew it, our whole lobby was just full of toys that
Oh, wow.
yeah, people donated, and my employees would bring stuff in, and then we just really got kind of crazy with it and started doing toy drives.
Oh,
So twice a week, after mid-November up right until about mid-December,
okay.
we're out on the streets doing toy drives at random locations.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, we partnered with several people, but the ones that partner with us over and over every year is the Specialist Car Audio.
Okay.
Every year we can count on them to be a part of it. They let us set up their location, and they also do a small donation and help support as well. And then we also partner with Real Producers, which I think you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Delilah Royce at Real Producers really ran with it, and she's probably
Cool.
our biggest contributor to that. She does a party every year, and it delivers a lot of toys.
Yeah, it does. I wasn't able to go to the one last year. I was out of town, but Frank was there.
Yeah, I almost feel like it's a competition. It's almost like who shows up with the most and the best toys there
Right.
every year. So we always get just a boatload out of that. And then we're usually at least once a week at our facility off of Houghton,
Okay.
doing the toy drives as well. And we'll usually bring one of the radio stations out, and they'll
Oh,
promote
good.
it. And they donate that service, so we don't have to pay for that, which is kind of nice. So they're kind of promoting it for us as well.
Right. Okay. And how do the recipients get the toys?
Well, usually we'll drop them off at the very last toy drive with KVOA.
Okay.
They do toy drives also, so at the
Uh-huh.
very last one, we'll bring in everything that we've collected
Ah.
and drop it off to them, and then they make sure that it goes to the right place with the Marines. And
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right. And did you say before that you were there at the beginning of the Toys for Tots?
no. About 10 years ago is when we
10
started.
years
I
ago,
don't know when
okay.
Toys for Tots started here.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Sorry.
No. I thought that's something that you had said earlier. So let's talk a little bit more about Steamy Concepts.
Sure. don't really know how much more there is. You know, we are the, I mean, not to brag, but we are the largest water damage restoration
You
company
are,
in Southern Arizona, and also one of the largest carpet cleaners in Southern Arizona. One thing that most people don't know, and this is kind of where I like toot my horn, is that we are one of the largest non-franchise carpet cleaners in the country.
Oh,
We've been a couple big groups across the country, and it's just amazing to find that most carpet cleaners are owner operators, and they're just, you know, kind of small, and they hadn't figured out
right.
how to grow and scale. And we figured it out, and we figured it out in Tucson, which is kind of a surprising place to be able to explode and
Yeah.
Dominate. But we've just gotten really good at it, and I think it's a combination of customer service and being consistent with what we deliver. And
Right.
you know, I'm not going to tell people that we're the cheapest option. I used to try to go down that route, and it just doesn't work really well.
It doesn't, no.
But we feel like we're the best option, and we're cost effective.
Right.
So we can be competitive with all the big guys that are, you know, equally competitive and customer service oriented and business wise. We tend to compete with the big non-franchise or with the big franchise companies more than anything.
And that comes down to culture. You've put in a culture in your company so
Yeah.
that you have that customer service.
I've had a lot of help with some good people that work for me that, you know, understand we're looking for the long-term solution, not the temp. You know, we don't want a quick in and out customer. We want a customer to come back over and over again.
Right.
And that does go with taking care of our employees as well.
Yes, it does. Real quick, what kind of training do the employees have? Do you have continual training?
Yeah, we do meetings every single week.
Okay.
Sometimes a little more often, but yeah, continual training. And there's everything from safety training to quality training to sales training, customer service training. We don't just put a guy in a van, give him the keys and say, go. It usually takes a brand new person that's never done this before at least 2 to 4 months to be able to even go and do something on their own.
Ah, okay. And how do people get hold of you?
Well, steamyconcepts.com. And you can just Google us. That's really what I tell everybody. I stopped giving the phone number a long time ago because steamyconcepts.com is just the easiest way.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you. We're talking with Matt from Steamy Concepts. We'll see you next week.
Coverage. Protecting your family, home, auto, and other valuable possessions can be challenging and sometimes expensive. Crest Insurance gives you flexible options and solutions while saving you money. Insurance is not one size fits all, and at Crest, we find the coverage that's best for you and your family. Visit us online at www.crestins.com or call us toll free at 888-881-5765.